Hello, it's me, a piece of garbage you found on the side of the road, and today we're going to be talking about Lily Tino. Lily Tino, a very hot topic right now. Many people seem to hate her, and I was curious as to why. So I asked this question on TikTok, why do y'all seem to hate Lily Tino? Because I hate being out of the loop, and I love to be included in things. Before we begin, hi, my name is Nex, and I make videos about whatever I want. The videos that I want to talk about are commentary videos, body mods videos, I make vlogs, I make videos about people who are chronically online, including myself. So if you like those things, please subscribe. Lily Tino, the person we're going to be talking about today, is someone who many opposing communities dislike, and I'm about to discuss why people seem to dislike her. Then I'll talk about my own personal opinions and thoughts later on in the video. I love talking about these influencers, and to be honest, I have about 3 more videos like this where I go, why do people hate this person? And I find out a lot depending on what people answer, and then I form my own opinion after. You know, it's a sort of thing that I like to do instead of like watching a bunch of random videos and following what other people think. So, just to preface this whole thing, I personally don't like Lily Tino, but another thing that I really hate and despise is transphobia. What we're not going to do on this channel is be transphobic. I think misgendering people as a punishment for things that they've done bad makes no sense and is really fucking stupid to me. We don't call Jeffrey Dahmer a woman when we talk about stuff. We don't call Jeffrey Epstein a woman or use she, her pronouns on him. It's weird that the 2 examples that I have are both men named Jeffrey. To misgender people is just factually incorrect. If you're doing it by accident, that's totally fine. You probably didn't know. I know that I accidentally misgender people sometimes. Let's get on with the video. Who is Lily Tino? Lily Tino is a trans woman on TikTok who seems to enjoy filming herself doing all sorts of rage baiting. I've heard a variety of alleged things about Lily, like she goes to restaurants and freaks out when waitstaff call her a man and she constantly demands free food, or that she goes into women's washrooms to prey on women and children, or that she's a predator. Lily Tino is also, this is a sidebar, that woman who said that, did you know Kurt Cobain was actually a trans woman? I don't really have much to say about that, but I do know that Kat Black has a video on it somewhere if you're really curious about the discourse behind that, but I'm not gonna be talking about that today. I'm going to start the video by talking about the least concerning things that Lily Tino has done, in my opinion, just based off of stuff that she's posted herself and not based off of random shit that someone said based on a TikTok that they saw from somebody else. Let's start at the beginning of when I first heard about Lily Tino. I came across a compilation video of Lily Tino being misgendered. I can't remember exactly when I saw it, but it was just multiple videos of her just being sort of misgendered and dunked on at restaurants by waitstaff. When the waitstaff went up to her, they casually misgender her, and then she corrects them, but sometimes they do misgender her again, and then she gets upset. She does make a couple of these types of videos on her personal TikToks. These waitstaff either misgender her accidentally, or yeah, they were probably being transphobic, or maybe it's all fake. A third secret option that a lot of people like to assume. I do know she films a lot of videos of her just recording reviews at restaurants, so I feel like she just recorded herself making a review at a restaurant, and then when the misgendering happens, she reacts to it. And that's just a thing that she has. So I actually went to her TikTok and found the compilation that people were talking about a lot.
It looks like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir.
Oh, so sorry.
Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just going to go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at,
yes,
okay.
Sir?
Not.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir.
Oh, okay.
It just really sucks every time it happens. I don't need to be called ma'am. I just need to not be called sir, you know? Thank you. Did you call me sir? I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir.
What?
Called me sir.
Oh.
It's just like, it kind of just hurts a lot to get called sir.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
Very good. Thank you so much. No, yeah. Thank you. I'm not a sir. Nothing like a good misgendering. It is a knife in the gut when I get called sir. I feel like I need to tell him. I need to tell him that hurt. It hurts more, though, and it's not intentional, because it means like this is sir to him. I know you didn't mean it, but I'm not a sir.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. It's just, it hurts. I know when people clock me, it's fine, but like it does kind of hurt. Thank you. I'm not sir.
Oh, sorry.
Not sir. Not sir. The guy who dropped the food off, he called me sir twice in a row.
Okay. I'll let him know that and GM as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So in these videos, the most outrageous thing that she does, in my opinion, is she pulls a "can I speak to the manager" card after somebody like misgenders her a few times. This is going to be an opinion that you guys are going to fucking hate, but I don't think that she's being outrageous here. People have asked to speak to the manager for a lot less. Imagine you're a cis man going to a restaurant and somebody calls you ma'am based on how your voice sounds. You'd probably want to talk to the manager. You would probably get upset. My steak's not raw enough. Can I speak to the manager, please? I've heard stories from people that she sets these up as rage bait, that in these videos she gets these meals for free because she gets pissed off. In the second video in the compilation, you can see that she leaves before the food arrives because she gets really upset that somebody keeps misgendering her. When she complains to the manager about it, they could be offering her free food. So I mean, it could be happening, and this could be a thing that she does to get a free meal. But we also have like next to no proof of this actually happening, where she does this all the time to get free meals. I feel like in the greater influencer space, influencers get free meals for reviewing food. So I don't think that this is like the most horrible thing that could have ever happened, and this is what's setting trans rights backwards. It would be interesting to see if there was like a wait staff point of view. My voice is really weak today because I'm back on tea. Bet you guys didn't know that. The other gripe that people seem to have with these videos is that Lily is harassing the waitstaff. I think you're a pretty insufferable person to harass wait people, like restaurant workers, dishwashers, janitors. If you're giving them a hard time just for the sake of giving them a hard time, I think that's annoying behavior. But I also think you're insufferable if you're purposefully misgendering someone and being transphobic. In the second video, she said she specifically called ahead of time to ask not to be called sir, and also the guy in the last video didn't apologize at all and continued to misgender her and call her sir, which is, in my opinion, a dick move. You can have a different opinion. That is the magic of the internet. In these small sample sizes of videos in this compilation that we just watched together, I don't think she's in the wrong here, assuming she's not doing this for free food reasons. In the videos, I think she just corrected these people and felt upset when they continued to misgender her. I think yelling at people for accidentally misgendering anyone can be viewed as cringe. I personally think it's a bit cringe. People make mistakes. People across the span of time have been misgendering people by accident, including misgendering cis people. We see all the time metalheads with long hair. If you look at them from behind, you're like, oh, what a beautiful lady with gorgeous voluptuous hair. A butch lesbian using the women's washroom. Loads of stories about that, especially now in today's political climate. I think becoming super angry about a stranger misgendering you is really tiresome. I could care less about what gender a stranger thinks I am. But that's also just me, and it took a really long time to get to that point. I also personally don't see her absolutely like flipping out when being misgendered in these videos. I don't see her like getting up and yelling at somebody or like assaulting somebody for being misgendered. I do see her being like, it really hurts when you call me sir. Which brings me to the next point of passing. In the greater trans community, passing is a hot topic. The concept of passing matters to some people and to others it doesn't. Passing means you're a trans woman, you are passing as a cis woman. I think most of the binary trans people that I know give a lot of care into passing. They will do things to make them pass better. Lily Tino mentions that misgendering her by accident without meaning to is extra hurtful, only because these people would just view her as a man naturally, and that's honestly gotta hurt. And I think that her being like, that hurt my feelings, takes a lot of guts. Lily mentions that she wears makeup. She's dressed really feminine. She's dressed like a woman in this video. She does makeup like a woman. She has hair like a woman. And yet, some people just see her as a man. Being misgendered fucking sucks. I'm not gonna get too into it, because I don't have to explain myself on the internet. To people who are in the queer community, for the most part, understand my gender identity. Cis people who are strangers or like parents of friends or whatever will not understand my gender identity, and that is totally fine. It's fine to hold a lot of value into passing. I think it can drive you a little bit crazy, and I also think it's fine not to give a shit about passing. Anyways, despite what other people say, I don't personally think that she does these videos on purpose. I don't see her having an extreme reaction to being misgendered. We can have different opinions on this section. I don't think she purposefully goes to these restaurants to get misgendered. That would be so tiring. That would hurt my soul a lot. Unless getting money from TikTok stuff feels better on her soul than getting misgendered constantly. Her other content kind of makes sense for this not being on purpose because she does do food reviews. So that kind of makes sense to me. Anyways, let me take a sip. You may have heard some people say from across the gender spectrum that Lily Tino is actually a cross-dresser, which is the same sort of talking points that transphobic conservatives have about the entire transgender community. It's also the same talking points that LGB without the T people say about trans people. They say that trans people are creeps trying to access spaces that they don't belong to. The real life trans women that I talk to when I talk about Lily Tino, they mostly just think that she's a little cringe, which I absolutely agree with. I don't think you need to strive to look a certain way to be a woman. Society says that we have to, and some people want to look the way society wants us to look, which is fine. I don't think you need to look a certain way to be a certain gender. I don't think you need to look a certain way to be a certain level of trans. I also think Occam's razor is at play here, and instead of trying to pick apart every little thing about Lily Tino's public transition, or why she doesn't try to make herself look more like a woman, which I completely disagree with, I think the simplest answer is true, is that she is a trans woman who happens to be attracted to women. She wouldn't do all these things to just try to access women's spaces. If you think that being a woman while also being attracted to women, be it other trans women or cis women, is somehow creepy, I think that's maybe something that you should unpack a little bit. When we assume that a person on the internet is pretending to be trans because they don't meet your strict criteria of what a true trans is, we all fail. If someone says, I'm a woman, my pronouns are she, her, I believe her. If I didn't know who Lily Tino was, and she came to my place of work, I would use she, her pronouns on her automatically. She is, in my opinion, a woman. She looks like a woman. I interact with all sorts of people. I actually go outside, so my former boss looked like Lily Tino, and to be honest, a lot of cis women look like her too. I think commenting on how Lily Tino looks like a man in drag is a really bad thing for the trans community. I think it's bad for not just binary trans women, but trans women who aren't what society thinks are beautiful. I think it's bad for trans women who transition later in life. I think dunking on her for her appearance is just in taste in general. I think trans women get a lot of flack for not trying to pass enough or looking a certain way, and I think that's trans misogynistic. It's sexist. I think in order for society to move forward, I think we need to stop commenting on women's appearances so much, about how women look older than they really are, or about how this young woman needs to get Botox in order to like look a certain way, in order to not look like she's 40 when she gets to 40 years old. And I think that people should stop calling trans women men in drag, because trans women look like a variety of different women. Cis women look like a variety of different women. Some cis women are like masculine, and some trans women look masculine. I'm leaving this section off with a video suggestion. There's this new video by Jasper Dasper. That's a really fun name. I haven't watched the whole thing, but he's done just under 5 hours of a video about transphobia. He identifies as a man and used to be transphobic and used to have the same views that many transphobes have. 25 minutes into the video, he talks about gender and how do we know people are trans. It's worth a watch. If you're not going to watch the whole video, because I think it's like 4 hours long, just watch that part. I think it's pretty good. My voice is so tired right now. I think I'm speaking too much. I need to shut the fuck up. The next section, Lily Tino versus the Disneyland bathroom. I'm going to be talking about 2 separate videos of the same Disneyland bathroom situation and how they differ. Both videos are from trans women. When I asked TikTok about why Lily Tino was hated, I was directed to a video by this trans woman. So I watched it. This was the very first video that I saw about the situation, so my opinions on this situation were solely based off of this video. When I talk about the other video talking about this situation, you can see how my opinion has changed based on the more context that I got from the second video. Because this first video is ragging on a lot about how Lily Tino looks like a man, she's not actually trans, and I hate her. The other video talks about Lily Tino went into the Disneyland washroom and was taking selfies in a public place, and this is why that's bad. The video that I'm about to talk about, I think was deleted. I couldn't find it in my save, so I'm going to describe it. In this video, this woman is talking about Lily using the women's bathroom at Disneyland and how creepy it is that she's using the women's bathroom at Disneyland. I don't see the issue with Lily Tino using a women's washroom. Lily looks like a woman to me. When I go pee, personally, when I go to the bathroom in a public place, I am not paying attention to anybody else, because why the fuck would I? Everyone who is also normal doesn't pay attention to anyone else who's in the bathroom, because why? You're not going to the bathroom to network. You're not going to the bathroom to be like, I wonder who's going to sexually assault me today. Like, that's not the reason why we go to the bathroom. I don't care about who goes to the bathroom with me, personally, but that's just me as someone who touches grass. If there was someone who was being creepy towards me in the bathroom, their gender would be the least of my issues. If only certain people with certain looks can go into certain bathrooms, that'd be up. That is so warped to me. Like, you have to have your head stuck so far up your own ass to give that much of a care about who goes to the bathroom. Trying to impose bathroom bills are bad. If a man wanted to a woman in a bathroom, he would do so already. Also, how would we police this issue of people going to the bathroom? There's lots of news about cis women going to the bathroom who are either butch or gender non-conforming cis women. How would you suggest we police these bathroom bans? Would we have to check everyone's ID, or are you suggesting we check everyone's genitals? This to me is more up than like seeing a man in a dress in the women's washroom. That is so messed up. Like, would you check little children's genitals in the washroom? I don't think so. I personally think that's so horrendous. Also, Lily Tino mentions how she got bottom surgery and also her gender marker is changed on her ID. Everything there says she's a woman. The whole she should go to the men's bathroom instead of the women's bathroom thing is like disgusting to me. I think she should use the women's washroom because she's a woman. In this TikTok also, the woman briefly mentions how she was taking selfies in the bathroom and filming in the bathroom. I think filming yourself in the bathroom with strangers can be seen as a really bad thing. I think it's not a good thing, and you shouldn't do that unless you are taking a selfie and there's nobody behind you. I think that's fine. I think filming people without their consent is bad, including the little footage that this woman uses in her TikTok of filming Lily Tino at Disneyland without her consent. Also, this woman mentions that Lily says that she peed standing up. Who cares if she was in the women's washroom and peeing standing up? If you don't know, in the women's washroom, there are no urinals. There are just stalls that you can go into. I don't see the issue here because if she was peeing standing up, she was doing so in a stall where no one could see her. I feel like this is this woman's thing to prove that Lily Tino doesn't have dysphoria around peeing standing up. This is a point to her not really being truly trans. Many trans people, including people who identify as binary trans people, do things that contradict other people's idea of what makes them personally dysphoric. Some trans men like to wear makeup, while other trans women like to keep their dick. This woman who is reacting to these videos is a woman who obviously likes to keep her genitals because she talks about her dick all the time on her TikTok page. At the end of the video, this lady was saying how Lily is scary looking and she'd feel unsafe around her. I think that is fucking insane. The woman in this video seems to be a bit of a pick-me. So of course her reactions to things that happen in the trans community seems to be based on how she views other trans women and how they personally don't pass, in her opinion. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the other video on the same Disneyland bathroom situation, but from this content creator called Jade. She talks about how Lily took videos of herself raiding Disneyland bathrooms. I think what she says is really good, so let's watch it right now.
Hello, my name is Jade. I am a 23-year-old trans woman, and I just wanted to share my 2 cents on the Lily Tino situation. I just kind of want to hold space and protect the trans women who have started transitioning later in life that don't have malicious intentions. Again, not defending her, I just want to hold space for all trans women. I would also like to say that I do not condone any kind of hateful comments toward her, because 1, it's not productive, and 2, holding somebody accountable and being hateful are 2 very different things. This kind of behavior in the name of content creation is not only selfish, but it is incredibly dangerous to a marginalized community that is already at risk of harm and malice. I promise you that trans women do not walk around begging to be misgendered or enter women's spaces with the intent of causing a public disturbance, let alone document it and put it online. Because going into several different women's restrooms and rating them online, taking photos in those restrooms and posting those photos knowing that there are other women in the background is very predatory behavior that we do not condone. No trans person walks into a public space thinking, how can I create a public disturbance so I can document it for views online? Because we're already concerned about our safety going anywhere in the world. And if you do that, well, you should probably take notes. Even as a passing trans woman, I am still filled with fear walking into a woman's restroom because you just don't know what could happen. So to see a trans woman walking into a public space consciously causing a public disturbance, by saying she peed standing up or whatever, that doesn't sit right with me because that puts all trans women at risk. This kind of behavior fits the generalizations and it fits the stereotypes, and that's just not what trans people do. It has gotten to the point that Lily Tino is making headlines, and it is not good press. The New York Post, a very public platform, released an article on the situation calling the trans movement a selfish movement. Because of this, we are regressing significantly. She is basically walking around places like Disney World, begging people to misgender her so that she can create content. I think the rage bait is fucking stupid, but this kind is dangerous because it is putting the safety of trans people all across the world at risk.
So Jade talks about how Lily Tino is going around taking photos, rating different Disneyland bathrooms. They're women's washrooms, and she's taking selfies in them. I wish that this was the first video that I saw about this situation, because it actually brings up points about how this is problematic instead of just dunking on how Lily Tino doesn't look like a woman. In the video Lily Tino actually posts, it is a video with her taking selfies in different washrooms, and the people behind her are unblurred. Their faces are not censored, and she is just taking selfies in these bathrooms. I think that is weird. The reason why it's so sort of problematic is because Lily Tino is a well-known influencer, and she is a controversial influencer. News articles about her buzz around the whole thing, putting trans people in a negative light. I think that taking pictures of other people in public without their consent is fucked up. Okay, I want to talk about TikTok's game of telephone. The game of telephone is very prevalent on TikTok about a variety of different things, and I think it is a bit of a problem. I think that people are starting to get knee-jerk reactions based off of one little sentence that they hear, and then they just run with it. And I think that is a bad thing that's happening. This situation is kind of happening to Lily Tino as well. Despite the fact that, like, she is doing things that are bad and problematic. So TikTok's game of telephone with Lily Tino is as follows. You'll hear that Lily Tino is a child predator, and the person before that will say Lily Tino showed her genitals to children, when really she was just using a cake pop as an example for bottom surgery, or using a banana split as an example of bottom surgery and filming by herself. In a public space, still, but like a lot of people do things that are adult in public spaces. Another telephone game you may have heard of is Lily Tino is a child predator. Person before that says Lily Tino takes inappropriate photos of minors, and then before that it's Lily Tino was taking a bathroom selfie and there was a kid in the background with their face unblurred. I don't know about you guys, but I hate pedophiles. That's a very controversial opinion. I don't like people who exploit children. Children are being exploited the most on the internet right now. You can be a family vlogger and exploiting your children that way. You can use AI, which exploits children by taking lots of photos that people unknowingly put on the internet and mashes them up and can be used for some nefarious purposes. I don't like any of those things. I think that children shouldn't be on the internet unless there are major precautions taken place. But I also think that very normal and regulated people accidentally expose children to things we view as harmful. And those things differ from person to person. I don't think photos and videos of children should be on the internet at all. I don't think that you should yell at your spouse in front of your kids, yet that still happens. It's our duty to keep kids safe. I don't think, in my personal opinion, Lily Tino is a child predator. And I think it is dangerous to start labeling her as such. I think that she's done predatory things, and I don't think that taking photos of yourself in a bathroom with people in the background unblurred is a good thing. But many of you have probably taken a video or pictures of yourself in public before and uploaded them on the internet. Many of you are probably parents who post pictures and videos of your children and upload them onto the internet. I also don't think Lily Tino was just waving her genitals around in front of children. TikTok's, once again, game of telephone where she was taking selfies in public bathrooms, and then people can misconstrue that and say that, oh, she was exposing herself to children. I don't think that's what she was doing, but I still don't think what she was doing was correct and right and like unproblematic, and we should forget about it. I think that her bottom surgery on different object videos are sort of funny, but I also have heard people saying that that's her exposing herself to children and like exposing unnecessary surgeries to children. I think that's crazy. I think that's a crazy thing to say. Even though it was at Disneyland and she was like going into a banana split. People drink at Disneyland in front of kids. I watch this vlogger who takes edibles and then goes on Disneyland rides, and she's high in those videos, like, and there's children around. I don't think that she's exposing herself to children. So this brings me to my last section. Is Lily Tino actually a bad person? What makes somebody a bad person? It seems like in this political climate, it changes depending on who you ask. Some people think that if you eat meat, you're a bad person. Some people think that if you're a crusader for truth and keep other people in check, this makes you a good person. For me personally, a bad person is someone who does harm intentionally and does so consistently. Of course, we're human beings, so that makes things a lot more complicated. Bad people can do good things, and good people can do bad things. A student uses ChatGPT to pass their grade 12 exams is also trying to eat less meat. The man who adopted a dog will catcall girls sometimes, and Lily Tino has done some bad things in her internet career. Now, what's the real issue with Lily Tino? A user by the name of Colleen explains an encounter she's had with Lily Tino. Lily Tino was trying to coerce Colleen into making OnlyFans content with her and was being a creep in general. By creep, I mean constantly asking Colleen to meet with her, constantly asking her to collab on OF with her, disregarding Colleen's boundaries and comfort when asking to do things sexually with her, essentially begging her. And even after Colleen said no, Lily kept pushing and saying, imagine how much money we could make if they did content together. I think what Lily did to Colleen is wrong, and there's no excusing that. I don't think that people asking to collaborate on OF is wrong or problematic necessarily. In this house, we support sex workers. I support people doing whatever they want with their body as long as they're not being coerced. If you are trying to get people to collaborate with you on OF and they say no, that should be the end of it. Yeah, I think the situation with Colleen is enough to make me dislike Lily Tino. The bathroom incident was pretty wild, and according to news articles, this does make the trans community look bad. This is dangerous for the trans community. It puts trans people in general in the spotlight in a negative way. Because you hear about Lily Tino and you think of this, I don't personally think that this was a pedophilic act, but I think it is stupid. I think that taking selfies when you are an influencer, like I said, and taking photos without blurring the people in the background is a bad idea. I think taking pictures with people in the background is iffy to begin with. It's like filming yourself on the beach, except you have like millions of eyes on you on your internet platform. I think it's a breach of privacy. People might disagree with that. I also think that her rage baiting tendencies are a little problematic. If you talk about Lily Tino, you'll get views. It's naive to believe that Lily doesn't know this with her rage baiting, and I think that that is just making her reputation a little bit worse. But I also don't think she necessarily cares. The stuff that Lily Tino has put on the internet, some of it is problematic. The other stuff is pretty fucking tame in my opinion. I don't think that it's much as a big deal, but because people do hate trans people, especially trans women, because we live in a sexist society. Oh my fucking god. So I think that dunking on her for the way that she looks is shitty. In conclusion, oh my god, I'm fucking done with this video. Oh, I'm so tired. In conclusion, I don't like Lily Tino. I also don't think that the amount of transphobia that she's getting is a good thing. I think it's really shitty, actually. I think that the transphobia that she gets is not only setting society back, but it's setting the trans community back. Being transphobic is bad in general, even if you think that the person you're being transphobic to is a bad person. You can't just be racist to someone because you think they're a bad person and be like, well, this person is this, so I think that gives me a be racist free pass. Like, I think that logic is very fucking stupid. And if you disagree with me, I don't care. I think it's fine to dislike people, but being transphobic or racist or homophobic or whatever Phobic also makes you a bad person, in my opinion. You're allowed to dislike somebody for any reason, just based off of vibes. If you don't like somebody, you can just base it off of vibes. You're allowed to talk about people you dislike in turn, and people are allowed to make assumptions about you based on the reasons why you dislike a person. I don't think it's transphobic to critique her actions. I think that's not transphobic to call those things out. But it is transphobic to be like, I don't think she's trying hard enough to look like a woman. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. I'll probably keep the comments open for respectable discussion. Be cool. Be fucking chill. So if I missed something in this video, let me know in the comments. If I missed a major thing that Lily Tino did that was really, really horrible in your opinion, let me know in the comments as well. If you watch this whole thing, leave a cake emoji in the comments. And remember to like this video and subscribe and turn on the little bell if you want more commentary videos or vlogs or body mods or videos about people being chronically online, including myself. Okay, once again, my name's Nex, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!